Good evening, this is JC and English News Edition, and you're watching with me, Ninghui Kim Kong Sai. First, the headline. Kuki organization seeks early hearing of plea in Supreme Court for probe against Manipur CM over audio clips. Kuki Chiefs Association condemns proposed border fencing along Indo-Myanmar border. Mizoram DRI officials refute Kokomi's drug tunnel claims. News in detail. Leaked audio tapes, including telephonic conversations involving Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh, have sparked controversy with allegations that Singh instigated violence. The matter is now before the Supreme Court, and in a recent development, Chief Justice of India (CJI) Sanjeev Khanna has intervened, a move with significant ramifications for Biren Singh. On Tuesday, 20 January, CJI Sanjeev Khanna stated that the Supreme Court might consider an early hearing of a plea filed by the Kuki Organizations for Human Rights Trust seeking a court monitor investigations into the leaked audio clips. The plea alleges that Biren Singh was involved in inciting ethnic violence in the state. The plea was represented by advocate Prasan Bhushan, who made an oral request for an urgent hearing. However, CJI Khanna instructed Bhushan to first submit a written application. Bhushan argued that the petitioner had already complied with the Supreme Court's directions from a previous hearing on November 11, 2024 by submitting the audio tapes and other materials to substantiate its claim. The case was initially listed for February 7, but the petitioner has now sought an early hearing. The petitioner is being hounded, Bhushan stated on behalf of the Kuki organizations. In response, CJI Khanna said, "We will examine. Please give a request for an urgent hearing in writing. In case of extreme urgency, we will advance the court hearing." The leaked audio tapes, alleged this year by a whistleblower, reportedly contained telephone conversations in which CM Biren Singh was instigating violence, according to the plea. The petition seeks a court-monitored Special Investigations Team (SIT) probe into the leaked clips. In November 2024, both Attorney General R. Venkataramani and Solicitor General Tushar Mehta urged the Supreme Court not to take up the case. Mehta questions why Bhushan had approached the Supreme Court directly instead of first filing the plea in the Manipur High Court. The Kuki Chiefs Association's Manipur has strongly opposed the proposed border fencing along the Indo-Myanmar border, warning that it poses a severe threat to the culture, historical, and traditional rights of indigenous tribal communities, particularly the Kuki people. These communities, which have long maintained socio-cultural ties across the border, are now facing the risk of a destructive severance of these connections. According to KCAM, the Kuki people, whose identity spans both sides of the border, have shared common traditions, languages, and religious practices for centuries. The proposed fencing will not only disrupt the deep-rooted unity but also hinder free movement, further dividing families that have long been separated by national borders. The association emphasizes that such an act would determine the survival and thriving of the Kuki communities. The KCAM also pointed out that the border fencing comes at a time when the Kuki people are already suffering from violence and displacement due to the ongoing conflict in Manipur. They argue that this fencing initiative would only exacerbate an already fragile situation, shifting attentions away from the real issues and providing the Manipur state government with an opportunity to deflect responsibility for the violence against the Kuki people. The association is urging the government to prioritize efforts to address the violence, provide justice to victims, and work towards lasting peace and reconciliation rather than focusing on border fencing. They argue that such measures only deepen the divide and further marginalize the Kuki communities who already face persecutions under the current state government and its leadership. In this statement, the KCAM called on the government of India to reconsider the initiative and focus on resolving the humanitarian crisis facing the Kuki people. They argued that the international community to take note of the situations and take immediate actions to address the root cause of the conflict. The KCAM Secretary M. Thangboy Halkip concluded the statement by emphasizing that the Kuki community seek peace, protections, and justice rather than further divisions and displacement. Directorate of Revenue Intelligence (DRI) officials in Aizawl strongly denied allegations on Monday regarding drug seizures through an alleged underground tunnel along the Mizoram-Myanmar border, countering claims made by Manipur's government. A senior DRI officials in Aizawl told TOI that seizures from Myanmar through Mizoram include 231 kg of methamphetamine tablets, 16 kg of heroin, 1,375 kg of ganza, and 3.7 kg of hydroponic wheat, valued at over rupees 355 crore from April 2024 to January 2025. We have never known about the existence of a secret underground tunnel along Mizoram-Myanmar border through which the contrabands were smuggled, as alleged by the Kokami in a press release issued on January 25. As we do not know about the presence of any tunnel, linking it with our seizures of illegal drugs and substances is totally uncalled for. It can be constructed as an intention to blemish the image of the state of Mizoram, the official said. He added that seizures occurred across various northeastern locations, including Kachar in Assam and Agartala in Tripura, involving substances trafficked from Myanmar to Mizoram. The DRI's official statement indicated that during the current financial year from April 2024, they have resisted 36 cases of contraband smuggling in the northeastern region, apprehending 17 individuals, including 7 females. Both state police and Assam Rifles personnel monitoring the 404-kilometer Mizoram-Myanmar border confirmed no knowledge of such a tunnel. An Assam Rifles officer stated, "If the underground tunnel really exists, we must have known about it, but we have not even heard a rumor about this." A senior police official acknowledged the border's porosity while dismissing the tunnel claims as fabricated by individuals intent on damaging Mizoram's reputations. Kokami's press release stated, "The organization is deeply alarmed by recent reports revealing the existence of a secret underground tunnel along the Myanmar-Indian border, allegedly used for smuggling drugs into Indian territories. These revelations poses a grave threat to the national security of India, particularly to the already vulnerable northeastern region and its indigenous populations." The organizations claim the tunnel could accommodate large vehicles along the Myanmar-Mizoram border. The Meitei groups further alleged, "We are particularly concerned about the alleged complicity of certain groups in Mizoram who are reportedly colluding with Jin groups based in US to create a Christian state spanning territories in India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar." This raises serious questions about the intent and activities of those in positions of power in the region. A senior Home Department official dismissed these claims, noting the impracticality of constructing such a tunnel beneath the border river Tiwa. Mizoram's apex student body, mizo liol MZP, has written to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, urging the center to reconsider its decision to scrap the Free Movement Regime (FMR) and fence the Indo-Myanmar border. The letter sent to Governor V.K. Singh said the FMR with Myanmar has played a vital role in preserving and fostering the Mizo way of life as well as cultural ties between ethnic Mizos of the two countries by facilitating cross-border contact, economic activities, sharing of resources, and participations in each other's cultural, religious ceremonies and community events. The proposed terminations of the FMR and the fencing of the Indo-Myanmar border threaten to sever these bonds, depriving us of our cultural rights and access to essential resources. This decision disregards the geographical, historical and economic interconnectedness of our communities, which have long transcended political boundaries, the letter said. Such actions will not only infringe upon the rights of indigenous communities, but also jeopardize the cultural and economic fabric of our lives, it said. The letter also said India was a signatory to the United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous People, 2007, and is bound by Article 36 of the UNDRIP, which affirms the rights of indigenous peoples to maintain and develop cross-border relations. It is disheartening to witness the world's largest democracy act contrary to this principle, undermining the rights of its indigenous people, the letter said. On January 26, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. Jampur, SP Jab Sakir IPS met with villagers at his office. Recently, a 55-year-old woman, Nu Kamching, a maid at the SP's residence, was dubbed off Rs 80,000 to a cybercrime. A scammer posing as a senior police officer contacted Kamching, claiming her phone number was involved in a crime. The scammer convinced Kamching to allow someone to transfer money from her account. Kamching allowed the scammer to transfer Rs 10,000 twice, Rs 15,000 once, and Rs 45,000 once, totaling Rs 80,000 from her account. However, the scammer did not return any amount as promised. SP Jab Sakir IPS immediately launched an investigation and was able to recover the entire amount of Rs 80,000. The SP warned the villagers that cybercrime is on the rise, with many cases of online scams reported. He advised them to be cautious while receiving calls or messages from unknown numbers, especially those asking for OTPs or personal details. The SP also cautions against sharing personal information on social media and advised the villagers to report any suspicious activity to the cybercrime unit at the district police headquarters. In conclusion, the SP urged the villagers to be vigilant and cautious when using online platforms, as cybercrimes can affect anyone. He encouraged them to report any suspicious activity and to be mindful of their online presence. In a bid to create an atmosphere of goodwill and better relationship with the local communities and address the needs of local villagers, 112th Battalion CRPF organized a Civic Actions Program CAP at Mauhing Village, Kangpokpi District under AOR of A/112 Battalion CRPF on 28 January 2025 under the aegis of S.H. Rajendra Narayan Das IPS IG CRPF M&F Sector and the table guidance of Manish Kumar Sachar DIG Operations KPI and under the overall supervision of Mukesh Tatarway, second in command 112th Battalion CRPF. The program was attended by the village chief, Lekosei Haukip, and village authority members in the presence of Mukesh Tatarway, second in command, and S.H. JP Singh, second in command. T. Rocky, additional SP Kangpokpi, and Rajendra Prasad, deputy commandant as well as officer commanding of A112 TS by T assistant commandant. About 165 villagers attended the program. The village chief expressed his profound gratitude to the 112th Battalion CRPF for ensuring peace and normalcy in the area. He also highlighted the importance of maintaining a better relations between central forces and local people. Speaking on the occasion, second in command of 112th Battalion CRPF stated that CRPF will always try to strengthen relationships with local communities. He also expressed his gratitude to the village chief or village authority members and all villagers of Mauhing for sparing their precious time for the successful conduct of the program. During the program, sport items, football and volleyball with nets, syntax, flexi pipes, solar lamps, school bags, dustbins, etc. were distributed to needy villagers or beneficiaries. A cultural dance program and also solo performance was performed and sung by local youth club members.
Today we have organized Civic Action Program in Maung village. Basically this is the AOR of Alpha 112 Battalion in Kangpokpi district. During the program we have distributed the utility items to the villagers like syntax, solar lamp, dustbin, sports items and other utility items. This program is conducted on the aegis of IGP MN sector in guidance of the DIGP Kankopki district and overall supervision of the Commandant 112 Battalion. This is the program which is the central government sponsor scheme which further enable security forces to maintain a bridge between villagers and the security forces.
Local villagers also expressed their gratitude to the Commandant 112 Battalion and company commanders of A 112 Battalion for organizing this CAP. They also praised 112 Battalion CRPF for carrying out such people-friendly initiatives in the area. On January 26, 2025 at 8 a.m., the District Administrations of Chirchampur distributed relief materials to internally displaced persons IDPs residing in various relief schemes across the district. The relief materials distributed included Tuibong SDL Block 407.52 bags of rice, 83.40 bags of potatoes, 51.50 bags of onion, 32.30 bags of chickpeas, 714 packets of salt and 21.4 bags of sugar for 7,311 IDPs in 47 relief centers. Lamka SDL Block 315.61 bags of rice, 64.60 bags of potatoes, 39.80 bags of onion, 25.30 bags of chickpeas, 550 packets of salt and 115.99 bags of sugar for 5,600 IDPs in 32 relief centers. Saikot SDL Block 58.90 bags of rice, 12.20 bags of potatoes, 7.40 bags of onions, 4.60 bags of chickpeas, and 103 packets of salt, 2.90 bags of sugar for 1,058 IDPs in 7 relief centers. Singat SDL Block 53 bags of rice, 10.90 bags of potatoes, 6.80 bags of onions, 4.20 bags of chickpeas, 93 packets of salt, and 2.80 bags of sugar for 949 IDPs in relief centers. 53.70 bags of rice, 11 bags of potatoes, 6.80 bags of onion, 4.30 bags of chickpeas, 95 packets of salt, and 2.80 bags of sugar for 962 IDPs in 4 relief centers. In total, 888.73 bags of rice, 182.10 bags of potatoes, 112.30 bags of onions, 70.70 bags of chickpeas, 1,555 packets of salt, and 45.53 bags of sugar were distributed to 15,940 IDPs in 86 relief centers. Since June 2023, the district administration has been providing relief materials, including rice, potatoes, onions, chickpeas, salt, sugar, and other essential items to IDPs in relief centers. Various philanthropic organizations and civil society organizations (CSOs) have also distributed or contributed to the relief efforts. The district administration has been working tirelessly to provide assistance to IDPs, including transportation, food, and shelter. The relief materials were distributed with the help of various organizations and individuals. US President Donald Trump announced on Monday local time that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the United States in February. Speaking to reporters, Trump said PM Modi will visit the US sometime in February, as reported by Reuters. The announcement followed Trump's first telephonic conversations with Modi since beginning his second term as president on January 20. The call, described as productive by the White House, emphasized plans to strengthen bilateral ties and deepen cooperation between the two nations. These interactions come amid discussions in diplomatic circles about India's effort to arrange an early meeting between the two leaders. During their conversation, Trump also addressed immigration, expressing confidence that India will do what is right regarding the return of illegal immigrants from the United States. Trump's firm stance on tackling illegal immigration played a significant role in his re-election campaign, which secured his return to the White House 4 years after his loss to Joe Biden. Focused on strengthening India-US relations, Prime Minister Modi last visited the United States in September, where he participated in the fourth Quad Leaders Summit hosted by the then President Joe Biden. The meeting included leaders from Australia, Japan, and India, focusing on strengthening the Indo-Pacific Quad partnership. During the same visit, Modi addressed the summit of the future of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, showcasing India's global vision and strategic priorities. According to the White House statement, Trump and Modi's call underscored their commitment to advancing the U.S.-India strategic partnership and expanding cooperations within the Quad framework. They discussed plans for Modi's visit to the White House, highlighting the robust friendship between the two nations. The leader emphasized their shared commitment to the Indo-Pacific Quad partnership, with India set to host Quad leaders later this year, the statement added. External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar represented India at Trump's recent inauguration ceremony in Washington, D.C., further solidifying India's diplomatic presence. Modi's February visit is expected to serve as a platform for enhancing the India-US partnership, with critical discussion on trade, immigrations, and regional cooperations in the Indo-Pacific region. At least 7 people died while dozens were injured after a stage at a religious event collapsed in Uttar Pradesh, Bagpat, the police said on Tuesday. The incident occurred at the Jain College grounds during the Jain Nirvana festival in Bharat, where laddus were being offered to Lord Adinat in presence of the Jain community. The officials rushed to the spot and shifted the injured to the hospital. The SP and additional SP also arrived at the scene to take stock of the situations. Detailing the incident, District Magistrate Asmita Lal said that a wooden structure collapsed during the Jain community program, in which around 40 people were injured. 20 people were sent home after treatment, and 20 people are still undergoing treatment. 7 people have died, she told the media. Chief Minister Adityanath took note of the incident and directed the officers to carry out the relief operation swiftly. UP CM Yogi Adityanath has taken note of the accidents in Bagpat district and directed that relief operations be carried out swiftly. The Chief Minister has instructed district administration's officers to ensure that the injured are immediately taken to the hospital and provided with proper treatment, the Chief Minister's office tweeted. Some 70 people were killed in an attack on the only functional hospital in the besieged city of El Fasher in Sudan, the chief of the World Health Organization said Sunday, part of a series of attacks coming as the African nation's civil war escalated in recent days. The attack on the Saudi teaching maternal hospital, which local officials blame on the rebelled Rapid Support Forces, came as the group has seen apparent battlefield losses to the Sudanese military and allied forces under the command of Army Chief General Abdel Fattah Burhan. That includes Burhan appearing near a burning oil refinery north of Khartoum on Saturday that his forces say that they seized from the RSF. Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry denounced the attacks as violations of international law. International mediation attempts and pressure tactics, including a U.S. assessment that the RSF and its forces are committing genocide and sanctions targeting Burhan, have not halted the fighting. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom posted the death toll in the hospital attack in Al Fasher on the social media platform. Officials and others in the capital of North Darfur province has cited a similar figure Saturday, but he is the first international source to provide a casualty number. Reporting on Sunday, reporting on Sudan is incredibly difficult given communication challenges. the indiscriminate violence faced by civilians and exaggerations by both the RSF and the Sudanese military. The appalling attack on Saudi hospital in Al Fashar, Sudan, led to 19 injuries and 70 deaths among patients and companions, Yus wrote. At the time of the attack, the hospital was packed with patients receiving care. Another health facility in Al-Malha was also attacked Saturday. We continue to call for a cessation of all attacks on healthcare in Sudan and to allow full access for the swift restorations of the facilities that have been damaged, he wrote. Above all, Sudan's people need peace. The best medicine is peace. Ghebreyesus did not identify who launched the attack, though local officials have blamed the RSF for the assault. United Nations officials Clementine Nwekta Salami, who coordinates humanitarian efforts for the world body in Sudan, warned Thursday that the RSF earlier had given a 48-hour ultimatum of forces allied to Sudanese armed forces to vacate the city and indicate a forthcoming offensive. Since May 2024, Al Fashar has been under RSF siege, she said. Civilians in Al Fashar have already endured months of suffering, violence, and gross human rights abuses under the prolonged siege. Their lives now hang in the balance due to an increasingly precarious situation. The RSF did not immediately acknowledge the attack in Al Fashar, which is over 800 kilometers, 500 miles southwest of Khartoum. The city is now estimated to be home to over 1 million people, many of whom have been displaced by the war. The RSF has seen 782 civilians killed and over 1,140 others wounded, the UN said in December, warning that the figures were likely higher. The Saudi hospital, just north of Al Fashar airport, sits near the front lines of the war and has been repeatedly hit by shelling. Still, its doctors continue surgeries, sometimes by the light of mobile phone, while the hospital is hit. However, the RSF appeared in recent days to have lost control of the Khartoum refinery, the biggest in Sudan and crucial to both its economy and that of South Sudan. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.